What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, cabinet games from tabletop to video games, and we're back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison format, and this time we build counter fairies and we're against heroes. Now I have to tell you this deck is quite toxic and it's definitely not a deck that's meant for making any friends, but you know what? It was actually a lot of fun playing, and you know it's pretty consistent in our build that we did, so if you want to try it out, definitely try it out. If you guys like this match, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Let's begin. So we're going to see who's going first. And obviously, because we're playing Counter Fairies, we have to start. So our opening hand, we have Thunder King, we have Bountiful Artemis, we have Van. If you're not familiar with this card, is that if you activate a counter trap that negated a spell, trap, or monster, you can spell summon it. And then depending what you negated, you get one of these effects. If it's a spell card, it inflicts 1500. If it's a trap card, you get to destroy one card on your opponent's side of the field. And if it was a monster, you get to spell summon one monster from your graveyard. Then we have Dark Bribe and then Harvest. Now our opponent has Deep Sea Diva, Emergency, Gemini Spark, Mirror Force, and Torrential, and we draw into a Divine Wrath. So you see where this play is going. So we're going to go and set normal the Thunder, and then pass. They draw into another Gemini Spark, not looking great, especially with the Thunder King. So they're going to go Diva, use the effect. We're going to Divine Wrath it. We're going to send Bountiful for cost. That's going to trigger the Van, and then we're going to go and spell summon the Bountiful as well. So now our opponent is dealing with quite a board. So they're going to set 3 and then pass. We draw into Jurassic Drop Off, which is very good. So the first thing we're going to go is Battle Phase. So we're going to go and just swing. Our opponent is going to reveal Private Knowledge, and definitely that's not the Mirror Force, so he's going to go and put it right back. So we're going to go and receive the Mirror Force, but we're going to chain the Dark Bribe, so we're going to trigger the Bountiful RMS to draw 1 card. And we're going to go and set after we finish attacking. So swing it to the Van, 28, which is a lot. So set, pass to opponent. Now we're going to activate Jurassic Drop Off to remove that Neos. Now let me tell you how good this card is, okay? And why this is so much better than Drop Off is that it's a counter trap. So a lot of things can't be chained to it. So if your opponent draws into a Mystical Space Typhoon or Book of Moon, they cannot chain it to it. So it's such a good card. And yeah, we've been winning a lot of games because of it. So we're going to send. Bountiful is going to draw. Oh, look, another one. We're all set. So we're going to go, and our opponent admits defeat. So now we're going into game 2, and we're going to see how our deck does going second. So our opening hand, we have Van again, Honest, Dark Bribe, Reckless Greed, Bountiful. Our opponent has Dust Tornado, Brain Control, Future Fusion, Heavy Storm, and Nero. So their hand's pretty strong too. So they're going to draw into the Dimensional Prison, use Future Fusion. So review the Absolute Zero, and then send the 2. They're going to set and normal and pass to us. We draw into Dark Bribe. Not the greatest, but it's okay. So one of the best plays to do is just to set the Honest, because we don't really want to commit into anything just yet. So we want our opponent to start like revealing or even potentially minus some cards just to get rid of that Honest. So we're going to go and set and pass to our opponent. They're going to go Dust Tornado, getting rid of one of the Dark Bribes, which is completely fine. They draw into another Dust Tornado. Now in this situation, I will actually activate the Heavy Storm. So depending what we have, worst comes to worst, we can't really commit, and you don't really want us to have the battle for RMS and you doing Heavy Storm, because then it guarantees for us to benefit if we have any counter traps. So I think this would have been the appropriate time to do the Heavy Storm. So they're going to go and just swing, and yeah, it's Honest. So then they're going to just set and pass. So we draw into Twister, which is so good. So pay 500, destroy a face-up spell trap card. So this is good against like World Decree or any other like nuisance like continuous cards or even field spells as well. So I love this card a bit. So first we're going to go and return the Honest. Then we're going to go and normal summon the Bountiful. Our opponent's thinking goes Dust Tornado on Reckless. We're definitely going to chain it. Worst comes to worst, we would Dark Bribe it and still summon the Van and get rid of the other back row, but it's okay. This is even better. So now we're going to draw the 2. And now we're going to swing. Opponent's going to go Dimensional Prison. We're going to chain the Dark Bribe. And since we negated a trap card, we're definitely going to go the Van Dragon. And we're going to pop as well. So we're going to get rid of these Future Fusion. And the attack continues. Now, a lot of people make mistakes. And even to like standard formats, they're still making this exact same mistake, okay? If a monster wasn't removed or introduced to the field on your opponent's side, you don't redeclare an attack. Like a lot of people think you could redeclare an attack when you summon monsters on your side of the field during your battle phase, but that's not how it works. It's only if your opponent has a monster that's removed or entered on their side when you're in your own battle phase. And like a lot of people would be like, oh, we declare like 100 times and all that when they keep on supposed summoning monsters, but that's not how it worked. The attack still goes through, and now we could do the honest at the damage step. So we're going to swing, and then we're going to set the 3, and pretty much pass to our opponent. So they're going to go draw. We're going to go Jurassic, so definitely plus. So they'll minus a card. We draw a card. There's Harvest once again. And they're going to go Heavy Storm, which we're completely fine. And we're going to see where our opponent has. And they write Chi Deck de Murda. Now, I don't know what that means, but it's probably something positive. So they leave, enter next card that we were going to check and see. Let's see. Oh, negate attack. So, you know what? We're pretty good. We're under Reckless. So in the next like 2 turns, we were finally received this card, which is completely fine. So we could just summon the Harvest and defense. If it gets destroyed by battle, we're all set. We get a counter trap that we could definitely benefit from, and then follow up plays, then get the negate attack. So it's definitely a solid board. Even being forced to activate the Reckless Greed, it was still pretty good. Now I think it's about time we check in the deck. And here is our Counter Fairy deck. Now, as you can see, it's quite like basic. It just does one thing and that's it. And it's pretty consistent of it. Now, you're going to notice a few spice stuff. Like the Mask of Restrict is actually very good, okay? So it's not good enough to actually play Chaos Sorcerer like in a deck, or even the Sky Scourge, which I was thinking of making a new deck with it. But it's still decent enough for follow up, and you just kept on building. So the whole point of this deck is that you're just out resourcing your opponent. Okay, so if you're doing a Jurassic drop off and then you go and flip your Mask of Darkness and you add the drop off, you're already at an advantage already. So you're just building up your field and hand count and just surpassing your opponent that way. Now, there's one thing I do want to know is like we're not playing Outside Christia. The reason why is because majority of all my games I've been like, even win or lose, it doesn't matter. We always had like 3 or less fairies in the graveyard. It was very like super circumstance that we had like 4 fairies in the graveyard, and no matter what, it was always just a dead card. So you know what? You have a basic of it of how the deck works. You have Bound for Artemis over here. You have the Van Dragon, and that's all what you need to do. You don't need to do anything more. And this was like enough, and it built up the consistency completely. The upstart also like for deck thinning, so it just gets you the exact result you want to see. Specific counter trap. The Black Horn of Heaven is very good, especially if your opponent are doing a lot of synchro summoning. You could definitely do quite a bit with this, but also it's quite good against Mechana as well. So that's one thing to know. The Divine Wrath are beautiful as well. Now, this could be Blackwing, Sirocco. I do play with it a bit, like a few times. Now, with this specific build, it's been starting to be more concentrated light because we have the negate attack. So now we could actually stun our opponent a bit and do a bit of a follow up. We do have the Cyber Dragons as well, like the Twisters, like I cited. So we have the Mystical Space Typhoon, the 2 Twisters. We don't really need Heavy Storm. We have definitely Pulling the Rug, which is good. It's not good enough in main though. That's one thing that I noticed. So there's quite a bit of like cards and decks that you wouldn't really want to like main this. So I took it out because there was too many times that it was just dead. Okay, then we have the third Seven Tools of the Bandit, which is good if your opponent is playing like quite a bit of like trap heavy. And then we have the Starlight Road, which is very good if your opponent is playing quite a bit of like Boar Wipe or even Black Wings. You know, they have the Icarus, the Heavy Storm, they have the Black Rose, Light Swans as well. I do this with because you know the JD or the Light Swan that like pops a 2. Gladiator Beast sometimes as well. Like I'll put in the Starlight Road. The extra deck, it's all like fillers, nothing really too important to be very honest. But yeah, this is pretty much the Counter Fairy deck, and you know what? I really like it. I think it's pretty consistent just as is. You could definitely do different alternatives like to it. The Chrysias, to be honest, it was dead so many times, and we're just building, focusing on like consistency of doing just one thing and just performing the deck as is, and it's been working out great. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do: like and subscribe, And if you guys have some awesome replays that you want to see review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Facebook group page and private mention me that link, and we'll definitely get down right on it. So till next time, I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.